Hi, this is John Girardi with Right to Life of Central California, bringing you another in our daily series of videos we're producing every day during 40 Days for Life, our international campaign of prayer and advocacy outside of abortion clinics throughout the country, here in Fresno, and throughout the world. If you want to learn more about our campaign in Fresno, you can go to rtlcc.org or get in touch with us at Right to Life, 559-229-2229. Today, we're going to talk about what happens if the Supreme Court becomes dominated by the kinds of judges that more liberal pro-choice politicians have been advocating. This is not an impossibility. Many on the left right now who are angered at the fact that the president and the Republicans in the Senate may be putting a 6-3 majority of Republican-appointed justices on the Supreme Court have talked very openly about the idea of packing the Supreme Court, adding more members to the Supreme Court who are more ideologically aligned with pro-choice Democrats. And they want to do this in order to safeguard Roe v. Wade. Well, what would happen is not simply that the status quo would hold. What would happen instead is something far worse. If, for example, as many Democrats have advocated for, if Vice President Biden wins this election, if the Democrats take control of the Senate with a sizable majority, here's what would happen. The Democrats would eliminate the so-called filibuster rule in the Senate, which mandates that for most legislation, you actually need 60 votes rather than a simple 50+1 majority. By limiting the number of votes they need to advance legislation, they could then pass a simple law, a majority in the House, a majority in the Senate, and the president signing off, increasing the number of seats on the Supreme Court. Yes, they can do that. The number of justices on the Supreme Court is not set by the Constitution, and in different times in American history, we've had a different number of justices than 9. Now, we've been at 9 for the last 150 years, but it is theoretically possible to change it. If the Democrats do this, if they pack the Supreme Court, if they add 4 or 5 or 6 justices to the court and give Democrat appointees on the court a significant majority, it doesn't mean that our current status quo of abortion will hold. It actually means that we will be in a much worse situation than we are today. Right now, Republican legislatures around the country are able to pass various kinds of abortion restrictions. States have laws on the books requiring that parents be notified or give their consent before one of their minor children can have an abortion. Many states have various kinds of informed consent laws prior to abortion. Many states have different kinds of health and safety restrictions on abortion clinics. And the left-wing justices on the Supreme Court, people like the recently deceased Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Stephen Breyer, Elena Kagan, Sonia Sotomayor, have almost never seen an abortion restriction that they think is justified. In fact, they think any restrictions on abortion, whether it be, again, parental notification laws, parental consent laws, various kinds of informed consent laws, they think all of these should be thrown out. So if the left were to gain a majority on the Supreme Court, if pro-choice forces were to gain a genuine majority on the Supreme Court, we wouldn't simply stay at our current status quo. We would get something actually far worse: the wiping out of the last 27 or so years of pro-life legislation that has been passed at the state level in states throughout the country. This is one of many reasons why this election is so important. For Right to Life of Central California, I'm John Girardi.